my channel, my Zap fam. Today's just gonna be some random things about Lori Vallow, of course. I just keep finding just random things. Some of them is just older stuff that I never actually read or I never included in my video that I thought this will just be kind of a video just with a bunch of random stuff that is kind of interesting about this case. Just about, you know, some of the people that are involved in the case and just random things I've been finding online. So, well, first of all, how is everybody? How are you guys all doing? I hope you guys are doing good. I'm doing pretty good. I'm hanging in there. Hopefully you guys are all doing good. Did you guys like the quarantine videos? Hopefully people will send in more. There's a few more that people sent me, and hopefully you guys will send in a few more. We can make another nice compilation, and then we could start picking the winner. I still don't know how I'm going to do it, actually. I don't know. I'm just going to kind of go by the comments and what people say and kind of get a feel for who people are really liking the best. So, but yeah, so how are you guys all doing? Good? I hope. Let me know in the comments if everybody's doing good. Just how is everybody? Like, people, I hope there's some few people that I haven't heard from in a while that I feel like haven't been in the comments for a while, that hopefully they're alright. Yeah, I just hope everybody's doing alright. I wanted to bring Zeke. Zeke wanted to say hi to you guys. I'll bring him later on in the video. Have you guys say hi to Zeke. But he is really camera shy. For those of you who are kind of newer that don't know about how camera shy my Zeke is, he is like a total different person when he knows the camera's on. And I don't even know how he knows this camera's on, because this camera doesn't even have a light or anything, but somehow he knows. Like, for instance, if I'm just upstairs trying to film, my phone has a light, so he'll see the light, and then he just like freezes up and like freaks out. But down here, it doesn't really have a light on the camera, but for some reason he knows that it's a camera somehow, and I pick him up and he always looks, there's a little, because I'm in the basement, there's like a little basement window right off here to the right, and he just stares, he looks up at it for some reason. I mean, you can't see through it, it's not like he's seeing anything outside, it's like one of those thick storm window type things. I mean, it's not like he's seeing anything, but he just, I don't know, he gets all like, he freezes up and just looks. But I'm going to bring him down here sometime during this video for you guys to say hi. He just got a bath, and he's all shaggy, and his hair is getting nice and long, and yeah, so he went outside for a walk today in the rain, and he got all wet and kind of dirty, so now he's all clean with his bath, and he's just so sweet. I don't know what I'd do without him. He's just, oh, he's so cuddly, and that's the thing though. I want to show you guys how like cuddly and how sweet he is, but he, when I pick him up and he knows the camera's there, he's totally different, and it's not how he normally is at all. Normally he loves to be picked up and held and cuddled, and he'll give me these big hugs where he'll put his arms around me like this and just like lay on my chest, and he's the most cuddly dog ever. But anyway, enough about Zeke, I guess. But I will be bringing him down in a little bit. Okay, so let's talk about a few things. First of all, there actually was a kind of a newer update where, well, a few days ago, I should say, Melanie Boudreaux, actually, I guess she started back, like, for those of you not aware of who Melanie Boudreaux is Lori's niece, who was supposedly, a lot of people think, that she was actually with Alex when her ex-husband, Brandon Boudreaux, was shot at. A lot of people think maybe she was with him, and she's the one that, you know how she's married to Ian Pawlowski? Well, Natalie Pawlowski, Ian's ex-wife, which I think it was this summer, they got divorced last summer, and he already remarried Melanie. Like, I just can't believe how quick that these people are getting married and then getting a divorce and then getting married so quick. But anyway, him and his wife got divorced in July, and then he married Melanie in November. And then, I mean, it happens, I guess. You meet somebody and you fall madly in love and you gotta get married then, I guess. But I mean, I don't know, Chad, it was only a couple weeks, but we know he was having an affair with Lori for at least a year, if not longer. So, But anyway, but Natalie, remember she wrote that letter because she was looking for Brandon, I believe. Wasn't she trying to find Brandon? It was one of Brandon's co-workers. Because I know originally, remember Melanie did not want Ian to tell Natalie, his ex-wife, her name. Because she said, she was like, well, if she knows my name, she can look me up and she'll hear about, you know, her ex-husband getting shot at and all her craziness. But anyway, so I think Natalie was trying to look for Brandon to get some information because this is who her ex-husband is with and they have kids together. Natalie and Ian have kids together. So as natural as a mother, and you're worried, okay, this is his new wife, so the kids might be spending time with this lady, you kind of want to know a little bit about her, you know? And I guess Ian had told her that Melanie was telling, I know I included this in the video, I wasn't even going to talk about this, but I guess I'm trying to, sometimes I just go off spontaneously, sorry. Some people don't watch all my videos, so maybe you guys didn't catch this part, so it might be new to some of you guys. But Natalie, remember Natalie wrote that letter to Brandon's like co-worker? She was looking for Brandon, and basically about Melanie having a dream, or Melanie basically having these visions that Natalie was possessed by a devil, by a demon, or whatever. She was possessed basically, and as of that time, she said the kids were full of light. Her kids were full of light. But how quickly can that change? Like what? In a couple months she says the kids are possessed now, and then they try to do something to the kids, and they said Natalie, so is she gonna try to hire somebody, or is she gonna do something to Natalie? I mean, that's scary because all these people are ending up dead around this group of people here, and the ones that are, it seems like, are the ones that are supposedly these zombies or possessed or whatever. Yeah, so anyway, Melanie Boudreaux, she basically got back on Facebook and she made this post. So I'm going to read you this post that she just posted recently too. So it was just recently, like last week I think it was, sometime, or a few days ago. So I don't know when I'll get this up and edited, but it was recently. So it says, today is my 31st birthday and I couldn't let the day pass without sending out love and gratitude to every single person I know. I don't know if I could ever top last year's birthday of being able to serve in the temple doing 30 ordinances and then spending the day with my children. I don't have that luxury this year, but I'm grateful for so much still, because she doesn't have access to her kids because Brandon Boudreaux has custody, because, I mean, all this crazy stuff going on around Melanie and her crazy thoughts. I mean, I understand, like, I'd be nervous to have my kids around, even if it is the mother. I mean, she's claiming some crazy stuff. The person that she's looking up to, Lori, and that she's following and looking up to basically, and has the same beliefs, her 2 children are missing. Oh, heck no, I wouldn't want my children, I mean, just the chance of my children being missing, or maybe, okay, so let's say maybe JJ and Tylee are okay and they are just hidden away somewhere. That's still, I mean, you don't want your kids like trapped somewhere where they have to stay hidden, and I mean, that's the best case scenario. The worst case scenario, well, you know what that is. So yeah, I don't blame Brandon for being scared to let his kids see her. You know, maybe have some supervised visits or something. She already tried to take him a couple times. She already got arrested. On one of my videos, I played that 911 call where Brandon's parents called because she was pounding on the door trying to get the kids, because the kids were with basically their grandparents, and she's pounding on the door screaming. Alex Cox is the one that drove her there to try to get her kids. She had just been arrested for trying to do the same thing, and she went back to the house doing it again, pounding on the door trying to get her kids. So yeah, no, I don't feel bad for her. She needs to get her life together and prove that she's not a danger to the kids, and maybe have some supervised visits first. Or maybe tell your freaking aunt to show us where her freaking kids are, and show us where Tylee and JJ are. Show us they're safe then. Because you know she knows more. You know that she knows more than what she's saying. Because she was, first of all, she moved to Rexburg with Lori, right next door to Lori, okay? This is the place that they were at when Tylee and JJ disappeared. They were there at one point, and then poof, they're gone. She moved there to because she would kind of looked up to Lori and Chad. I mean, come on, don't tell me that you don't know more about this. Don't tell me. She has to know more. And then you're driving around with Alex trying to get your kids, and possibly you're with Alex when he tries to shoot Brandon, your ex-husband. I mean, don't tell me that you don't know more about this. That's why I just do not believe her. She knows more about where the kids are, in my opinion. I really do think that she knows more than what she's saying, at least. I think she knows what happened to the kids. I really do. Unless if Lori didn't want to take a chance to having too many people know the specifics, maybe not. Maybe she doesn't know, exactly or everything, but she has to know more than what she's saying. I really do think she was involved with shooting her ex-husband. I really do. I think she was with Alex. She was probably the one driving the car. He was the one shooting. Because who else was driving the car then? Maybe Zulema? I always say her name wrong. I think it's Zulema. Okay, so Zulema, his wife, maybe she was driving. I don't know. Somebody was driving. Either Melanie or Zulema probably. But besides the point, I got off a tangent here. I'm sorry. I know sometimes this annoys people when I just go off on a little thing. But I was just trying to say, she's trying to say how she doesn't have that luxury of being with her kids this year. But, okay, I'm going to continue. So it says, but I'm grateful for so much still. This last year, my world has turned upside down as family and friends turned their backs on me when things in the media got confusing. I have been falsely accused of many things, wrongfully judged, betrayed by those who I thought loved and supported me, and wrongfully gone to Utah County Jail for a few hours. Worst of all, my 4 beautiful children have unjustly been kept from me since October. I hold no faults, as fears and doubts have been spread by those trying to hurt me. While I was also unjustly taken away from my mother at age 6 and told all manner of lies about her, I stand here today grateful knowing about her. I stand here today grateful knowing that no one and no lie can take me away from the bond of my mother, who has laid to rest since I was 9. It's been a hard lesson to learn that I cannot put faith in court systems, authorities, or most people. The Lord has been on my side, and He has strengthened me through all of this. No one can take away the peace and truth that He brings. And by this, I know that my children will always know in their hearts who their mother is, and that I will be reunited with them. I hope they, like I, can learn how to forgive and love all those who have hurt us. This is only possible through the Savior's atonement. His love is more powerful than anything. This took me a while to learn to forgive my own father, but I have nothing but love and gratitude in my heart this day, and for the many who have betrayed me, even though restitution has not been made. I have learned to endure with patience and to wait upon the Lord, as I know He will reconcile all things. Each day is another day of experience and growth, and I will continue every single day trying to love and serve those around me, as that has brought me more joy than anything in this world could bring. When you dedicate your life to serving the Lord and accept His will rather than your own, it certainly doesn't always mean things get easier, as I've learned. I'm so grateful for the scriptures that account for so many who went through difficult times, even when they tried to live righteously. This has strengthened my faith in Him, and I have witnessed Him pouring out blessings. Things are tough right now with the world at standstill, but don't ever give up. Don't ever hold a grudge. Don't take for granted the people in your life, whether they are good to you or not. There is so much to learn from them. Everyone will stand accountable at the judgment bar of God one day, and I know who I am. The few in my life that have stood by me no matter what also know who I am, my children being included. I have learned to find joy in any circumstance. Even among some of the darkest days, while being separated from my children, being unsupported by my own parents, and while having so many untrue things said about me, truth is truth, and I do not care about the opinions, gossiping, or accusations of men or news sources. The last few years, I've learned how to forgive all things and love even my enemies. But while on a run today, I felt an overwhelming feeling of gratitude for all of this opposition and for those who have hurt me. And this was something I haven't been able to feel yet. What a beautiful gift from God on this day. All of this has had purpose and helped me become the person I am today. So use this day to show love towards someone who maybe has hurt you. Someone you just haven't been able to forgive yet for the things they've done to you. And look for the gratitude and blessings from it. There is freedom in this and so much peace. I'm sure there will be many on my Facebook that no longer wish to hear from me. and that is perfectly okay. You are welcome to delete me now that I have reactivated my page. I will respond to any messages of love. I will not see any negative posts on here, as I'll have a family member monitoring this post. I'm only here to send love out. Have an amazing day, and to you, Braxton, Brighton, Blake, and Breeze. I celebrate you today and how much love I have for you. So what do you guys think? I mean, it seems nice, and it seems like, oh, if she really means this, that's, well, wow, okay. Sometimes people are good at manipulating you with words and stuff. So I don't know how to take this. Let me know what you guys think of this post. If you think it's sincere, or I guess there's no way of knowing, because I mean, we don't know, or how do we know if that's sincere? I don't know. Or am I going to talk to her after? Am I going to see, you know, if she's been sincere? No. I mean, I don't know her on a personal level or any level really to know if, you know, is she changed? Is she really keeping her word? Is she going to be like this really? Are we going to know? Who knows? Is it just words to manipulate because she's in pretty deep? She's scared. I mean, legally she could be in trouble, because if she's a part of any of this, I mean, attempted murder on her ex-husband, Brandon, he thinks she was involved. If they start investigating that further, if they start finding any traces of her being involved in any of this, she could be in some big trouble. So I don't know how to take this really. Some people are good with their words. They're good at manipulating you. They're good at making you be like, oh, maybe they have changed. Okay, well, yeah, you're okay, but I'm guilty as probably the most guilty at falling for things like that. But like, probably the old me would be like, for sure, would be like, oh my God, wow, yes, she's such a good mom. You know, she's so sorry. Yeah, she should have her kids. Look, and would take like every, like that she actually means every single thing in here, because the naive old me would be like, oh, she said this and she said that, so yeah, you could trust her with her kids. Of course she loves them. She wouldn't hurt them. But I guess now, from having many more experiences and learning, lessons learned through some hard lessons learned, I should say, I always learn the hard way, but now just actually kind of learning from my mistakes and kind of not being so naive, I guess. I mean, I guess I'm still probably more than most, but I feel like I've came a long way, because now I will doubt this and be like, wait a minute, I'm not sure. Like, she would have to prove it more to me than just reading this and being like, oh, okay, yeah, you have her kid, give her kids back. Now it's like, I don't know, she's got to prove more than that, and these are just words, you know. She's got actions speak way louder than words. I was trying to find like family stuff, family tree stuff. So this is the family here. You have Barry and Janice, you have Stacy Lynn Cox. I wish I knew more information about her. So we know that was Melanie's mother, and we saw from Melanie's Facebook post that she got taken away from her mother when she was 6, and then she was 9 when she died. So it makes me wonder, why was she taken away from her at 6 years old? So basically 3 years before her mom died, it sounds like that Melanie was taken away from her. So was Stacy on drugs? Was she into this crazy beliefs and extreme beliefs, and like Lori maybe? Was she in a cult? Does anybody know? I mean, we heard that. I've been trying to find information on her too, and I'm still gonna look. I just kind of started, I guess, a couple days ago. I haven't really got too deep into it, but from what I've heard from comments and stuff, I guess it was an insulin overdose basically, and supposedly, now allegedly, I don't know if this is true or not, this is just what comments and people are hearing, that Alex was the one with her when she died. So then it makes people are wondering if did he have something to do with it, because it wouldn't be hard to give make somebody overdose on insulin. Like, he could have either been saying, oh yeah, I'll give you your shot of insulin, and put too much, or when she was sleeping he could have gave her some, or whatever. It wouldn't have been that hard of a thing probably to do if for some reason he did. And then it makes you wonder, well, why did he? him and Lori, is it another plan? Did they somehow get money from it, or what would be the benefit? Like, what if Alex was behind that and it was purposely done? Well, how did he benefit by killing his sister? Is there some kind of money? I don't know. I want to dig, and maybe you guys could help me. Let's try to look into this, because I want to know. That's very interesting. It was she was only 31 years old too when she died. May 21st, 1998. Man, that's sad. So yeah, if you guys have heard anything, maybe let me know. Email me, actually. Email me if you know, like, some details. I mean, either a word of mouth, but it would really be awesome if you actually have some facts, like where you could back it up with some, like, documents where it shows and it's not just like a word of mouth thing, but you could show me, like, proof that, okay, this is what happened, but even word of mouth, just any kind of information, like, if you really trust it, I should say, that it really came from a reliable source. I'm going to keep looking, but yeah, her name was Stacy Lynn Cox, and she died in 1998. Like I said, people were saying that it was an insulin overdose, I guess, and that Alex was with her. But I haven't been able to find that information. But like I said, I just started looking into it, really, so maybe I will end up finding it. But if you guys could help me, the more help, the better, because sometimes you guys may know how to get information quicker than me. Was it insulin for sure? Like, where did that story come from? How do we know? Did that come from, like, a family member? And then, or do you have the autopsy? And if you do, yeah, just email me if you guys have some information you want to share about Lori's sister. So then we have, so it looks like Lori's sister Stacy was the oldest, and then Alex was the second oldest, and then Adam. So Alex is a year older than Adam, and then Lori's the little baby, little spoiled little baby. Yeah, that makes sense. She's the little baby of the siblings. She was like 4 years younger than Adam. And then actually, it looks like from what this is showing that that Lori's parents had another kid, another daughter, and that she died at birth, right? No, I guess no. Is she still alive? It says Summer Cox. See, that was one thing that in comments they said that, I think somebody said that they thought that the Summer Cox was actually their daughter that died at birth, but this doesn't show any death. So is there a Summer Cox that's still alive? So I take that back. So if there is a Summer Cox that's still alive, then Lori isn't the baby. The Summer is the youngest. But people have emailed me and commented that they thought Summer died at birth. So I don't know. Let me know. Do you guys know that Summer Cox is still alive? But it's listed as that she's a daughter too. And she'd be 2 years younger than Lori if she actually didn't die at birth. I found this Facebook post from Adam Cox, which is Lori's brother, Lori and Alex's brother, where he actually has his brother Alex on, and he's talking about how everybody thought he was the talented one. Adam is saying, everybody thought I was the talented one of the family, but I'm not. Alex is really the talented one, and then he has Alex to do impressions and stuff. So I'm going to play you that one.
So I'm on my personal account on Facebook. This is the first time I've ever gone Facebook Live. This is my first ever Facebook Live. Okay?
You can do it on the Lucas fan page, too.
Okay, you can do it on the Lucas fan page. This is on my personal.
Morgan, our web girl, will be mad at us if we don't.
Okay, so we're going Facebook Live. My brother Alex is in the studio. And a lot of people think that in our family, because I've done a morning show all over the country, that I'm the talented one in the family. But the truth be told, my brother Alex is the talented one in our family. And you're about to hear why. Okay, are you ready? So I told you he's all about cartoons, TVs, and movies. I'm just going to rattle off random things, and you're going to hear the impression and then the actual lines from the movie. Are you ready?
Okay.
Alex, are you ready? I think so. All right, let me face this over to Al. All right, give me Bugs Bunny and Little Red Riding Hood from Saturday morning cartoons.
Da! 5 o'clock whistles on the blink and my papa's at work, so I ain't. And he's still in the factory 'cause he doesn't know what time it means to me.
And then...
Yeah, what's in the basket, gorgeous? I'm taking this bunny rabbit for my grandma to have, see? It's got a homeless for a rabbit. Yeah, it's got a cute face too, see?
I love it. Okay, now we're gonna switch gears. Go from that to Droopy the dog. Listen, watch this.
Mr. Dragon, do you know what? I am gonna slay you.
Love it. Now, what about Sylvester the cat? Remember the Sylvester cat from Saturday morning?
Oh, Father. Oh, the shame of it all. How can I ever show my face again? Now, wait a minute, son.
It just cracks me up to watch him do like cartoons. A grown man that does a lot of cartoons. All right, what about Shaggy and Scooby?
Like, hey, Scoob Man, was that ghost scary?
Yeah, scary. That's great. Okay, what about movies, like cartoon movies, like Aladdin? Give me something from Aladdin, the movie.
Calm yourself, Iago. He obviously Gazim was less than worthy.
Oh, there's a big surprise. I think I'm gonna have a heart attack and die from that surprise. What are we gonna do? We got a big problem here.
Yes. Only one may enter. We must find this one, this diamond in the rough.
So he knows like all the words, like he knows the lines. It's not that he does these great impressions. He knows the lines for the movie. Dude, I've never seen Beauty and the Beast, but Kareth, you've seen
my
it.
favorite.
Okay, so Kareth knows Beauty and the Beast. Give us something from Beauty and the Beast.
Wow, Gaston, you're the greatest hunter in the whole world. No beast alive stands a chance against you. No girl, for that matter.
It's true, LeFou, and I've got my sights set on that one.
The inventor's daughter? Yeah, but she's...
The most beautiful girl in town, and that makes her the best. And don't I deserve the best?
Well, yeah, but...
Can you say, stay out of the West Wing? Do you do that one?
Oh, sure. There's a stranger here. What are you doing here?
Please, I meant no harm. I lost my horse.
What the heck are you guys doing? I don't know that movie. All right, last one. So now we're in the movie thing. This is the last thing. So I got 3 movies that I want you to do. First, do Mrs. Doubtfire, because you do a great Mrs. Doubtfire. Ready?
Oh, dear, I saw the whole thing. It was run by Fruiting the terrorists. They ran that way, dear. Oh, it's so sad.
Now give me a Rain Man, Babbitt. What's his name? Raymond Babbitt. Give me Raymond Babbitt.
Yeah, 82, 246. 246 toothpicks. Yeah. We're counting cards.
Just random.
We're counting cards.
Just random stuff. All right, last one. Waterboy.
I'm counting cards.
Give me a good Waterboy.
That was definitely your tongue in my mouth. You should go now, because Mama's going to wake up.
Mama said, I love it. So there it is, my first Facebook Live proving that the talent in my family, it's not me, it's my brother Alex.
So Kathy emailed me this, so shout out Kathy, thank you. So the house, Charles Vallow and Lori Vallow's house, the one that he was shot in, is up for sale now. There it is, $549,000. It's 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, 3,098 square feet, 2 acres. So yeah, there's the house. Wow, people, they might have trouble selling that house. I mean, this is a pretty highly publicized case, so a lot of people are aware, especially people in that town, in that city, they're aware of this case, so they're probably aware that that's the house Charles died in. So I'd be interested to see how long it stays on the market, like how people might not want to buy it. They might be freaked out about buying a house where somebody died in recently, and especially how it all happened and went down. But then other people would maybe be more interested in it, just to have a house where almost like not famous, I don't want to say famous, but I'm sure there are some people interested in that kind of stuff. And doesn't it have a pool? Because there was a pool party, so I think there's a pool in the back, right? Does it say anything about? I don't know. So it's a nice house, it really is, but too bad that they brought evil into it with, and just the way they had it all done. That's a beautiful house. They could have had it looking so nice. It was like all empty, just beds just right on the floor, just not even tried. Like, it's like Lori didn't even try to make it look nice. Oh yeah, somebody took a picture of Chad. Look, check it out. I guess just walking in Rexburg. Ugh. Okay, so the next thing I want to read to you is, oh yeah, this one is a kind of an older, happened like a few months ago, but I actually didn't even see it. So if I didn't see it, I'm sure there's a lot of you guys that might not have seen it. So It was like a interview with one of Charles's sons, which he doesn't give his name. He remains anonymous, which is totally understandable. But he does an interview with East Idaho News about, well, I'll read you some parts in it and kind of talk about it a little bit. Like I said, this is from a couple months ago, but I didn't even see it. I just saw it, when was it, yesterday? I'm like, oh shoot. So he talks about his dad's death and his fears about what may have happened to JJ and Tylee. So he said he had not seen or heard from JJ since April, although he was once very close to his half-brother. So let's see, April, so wonder, oh, April would be, I don't know why April, I guess, wonder why it was so long that he hasn't seen him that much. Wait, he's saying he hadn't seen him at all? He had not seen or heard from JJ since April. Wow, that's a long time to not even see him. Well, Zeke, he might be ready to come down and listen to him. Maybe I'm gonna go get him and he'll say, he can say hi to you real quick because he's barking. I'm gonna see what he's barking at. And he can make his little guest appearance. So, hold on a second. Okay. Zeke! Zeke says hi. Mwah! He's a good bud. He's a good boy today, huh? He's a good boy. He's been a pretty good boy today. You see what I mean? Hold on, Zeke, here, stay. Say hi to everybody. Say hi. Hold on, Bubba. Okay, say hi. Say hi. Here's Zeke, guys. Here's Zeke. I'm gonna try to do some. Say hi, Zeke. Say hi to everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Hey. See, he's looking up there. Zeke. Hey. There's no. See what I mean? He's looking right up there. There's nothing up there. Say hi, buddy.
Hi, Zafiam.
Hi. Hi, everybody. Hi, Zafiam. Say hi, Zafiam. See what I mean? I don't know why he looks right there. Mwah. He's a good boy, though.
Yep, I'm a good boy.
He really is. He's so cuddly. He's a cuddly boy.
I'm a very cuddly boy.
From the Zekester. But anyway, so back to Charles's son saying that he hadn't heard from JJ since April, and they were really close because that would be his well, Charles is actually really the uncle, but he adopted him, so he adopted him. But I mean, they would still be actually blood related because he's still related to, and that doesn't even matter though, you know. Charles adopted him like his own son, and Charles's kids viewed him as their half-brother, basically. So it says that Lori basically waited more than a day to tell him and his brothers that his father had died, sending a text message 36 hours after he was shot and killed on July 11th. 36 hours after it, she sends a text message. And actually, I did a video where I read the text messages that she was sending him. And she's sending them, and they are asking, well, what happened? And she never tells them. She never gives a clear answer. She just kind of like goes, like kind of like beats around the bush and never really tells them exactly what happened. He just said, oh, your father passed away or whatever. And they keep asking, well, how did it happen? When did it happen? What happened? And she would ignore him for hours, and then she would respond, but she wouldn't answer the questions. It was just so rude. You tell them, okay, first of all, you wait 36 hours after it happens, and then you just tell them that their dad just died, but you don't even tell them how, when, where, what, any of the details. And then when they ask you over and over, she just doesn't answer. I mean, how rude is that? That's just not right at all. It's kind of like when Joseph Ryan died, how she kind of treated Joseph's family, where she didn't even tell them for how long after, and then she didn't tell them for I think it was like a few days after that she knew about Joseph dying, that she even had reached out to his family. And just how I guess she handled that too was so rude, how she handled it with Joseph, Ryan's family. And she's doing it with Charles Valla's family too. So his son says that he was texting him and he remembers calling him a couple times the morning he had gotten shot and he didn't respond. He said it was really weird because he usually returns calls and texts relatively fast, so something was off. So he said that Lori was vague about the circumstances of his father's death, and we saw from those texts she was very vague, and refused to answer questions on the text message thread, and we saw that. So then if you remember on the text where she was just ignoring, she wouldn't answer the questions. So Charles' son said, okay, well at least can you send us our dad's watches that he always talked about giving us, you know? And Lori agreed. You see on the text, Lori's like, yes, of course. He would want you to have it. You could have whatever, right? Well, I guess she sent them these cheap watches. She didn't even send them the real stuff, the stuff that they were supposed to get. It says what arrived were 2 cheap Timex watches you find at CVS. Nothing from his father's collections of very fancy watches, his son said. Anything that was worth money we didn't get. I'm assuming she sold everything. This is Charles' son saying that. Saying that we didn't get anything that was worth money, and he's assuming that she must have sold everything that was worth anything. So Charles' son also said that Lori refused to provide information about his father's memorial service or where his body was. So both of Charles' sons were able to track down the mortuary where their father's body was being held, and he described a strange encounter there. So I guess they found the mortuary, they go in and they talk to the funeral director, right? So they figured they had to track it down all by themselves and find out where their father was because Lori wasn't telling them. So they find it and they talk to the funeral director, and they said that the funeral director was very shaky and nervous. So they asked him for information and he said something like, I can't tell you that. It was requested that I tell you nothing. That's what the funeral director tells the sons of the person that just died. He's acting all nervous and saying, I can't tell you. It was requested that I tell you nothing. Well, wonder who requested that. Wonder who requested that he wasn't allowed to tell them anything. I mean, there's only one person that could have done that. And also, I guess, he said that Lori did not even attend the memorial service and refused to let JJ go. So she didn't go to the memorial service. She didn't let JJ go to the memorial service, despite the wishes of his other relatives. So I guess they begged Lori to let JJ go to his father's memorial service, and she would not let him. Are you kidding me? Like, fine. If she doesn't want to go, then don't go. But let his son go. Are you kidding me? You're going to refuse to let his own son go. It makes me so mad when I think about some of the stuff that she's done, man. So Charles' son also said that he loved to hang out and play with JJ and watch movies and run around. He would call me all the time. So he's talking about JJ. JJ would call him all the time. Something like 15 to 20 times a day. And then it dropped to 2 to 3 times a day. And then it just stopped. Just stopped, he said. So I just wonder. He said in April was the last time he talked to JJ. So wow, man. Lori cut him off in April, but wasn't Charles still seeing JJ in April? Maybe not so much if he was away on work. Makes you wonder why they just stopped. I mean, obviously it wasn't JJ that probably wanted to stop. It was probably Lori that stopped him from talking to him. But Charles' son said, I figured maybe he's going to school or something like that. I never thought anything bad was going to happen to him or Tylee. And Charles' son said he does not buy the self-defense claim. So, none of us, I don't want to say none of us, guy. I can't speak for everybody, but I think a lot of us don't buy it, right? In the comments, does any of you guys do think that Charles, it was self-defense and that he was, basically that Alex was fearing for his life? Does anybody actually think that? That's not, I don't think many people probably do, but maybe I'm wrong. Let me know if any of you guys do actually believe the self-defense claim. So Charles' son says, I don't believe any of it. My dad was never verbally aggressive, never raised his voice, never physically threatened anyone or anything like that. So somebody, I mean, he's an adult now. This kid is, I think his sons are like, what, in their 20s or whatever. They would definitely know if their dad was aggressive or lost his temper, or somebody doesn't just change like that when you're that old. Not that old, I don't want to say he's old, but you know, in the middle part of their life where they're already basically kind of set in their ways. They just have, if they're aggressive, then they're aggressive. I mean, I know there's always exceptions to everything, but for the most part, if he never was aggressive in his past relationships with his kids, with his ex-wife, that she was with him for how many years, and never really got physical, never aggressive, never raised his voice, there's a really strong chance that he wasn't like that with Lori either then. I'm not going to say that it's impossible, but it's highly unlikely that he just all of a sudden got aggressive with Lori, and that he was never like that in his life, but he just got like that with her. I mean, like I said, I wouldn't say never, but I don't believe it. I don't believe it for 1 second. Past actions kind of help predict future actions. You know, if somebody's not an aggressive person, they're not an aggressive person. I mean, come on, the past proves it right here. I don't believe it. I don't. And plus, just knowing what we know about Lori and her history. If you take his history and her history, who's the liar? Who's the one? I mean, what does that look like? Look at what happened with Joseph, where Alex attacked Joseph. Because obviously Lori made up some lies. We saw in the stand-up what Alex thought about Joseph, so who told him that? I mean, I'm sure Lori. So if you look at her past, kind of what she does with the men when she don't want him anymore, she makes up these lies about him and tries to get rid of him. So, and look at his past, and he's not a violent, and no violence or aggressiveness in his past. So if you make an educated guess, it would be that Charles was not abusive. Yeah, maybe he lost his temper and he yelled and he got mad like every other human being in the world. You get mad, but as far as basically crossing the line where it was, from not basically acceptable to abuse. And then self-defense is like a whole nother thing. I mean, that self-defense, it should be like you fear your life. Because if you're going to take somebody's life, you have to be fearing your own life. Like you're afraid that that person's going to take your life. Not just hurt you, but like really hurt you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so yeah, I think they're investigating right now, and I think they're gonna, let's pray that they have enough where they realize it wasn't self-defense and they have some justice for Charles. I really do hope so, because I really don't think it was self-defense. I really think it was a plan. We know the person that did it, one of the person that did it is no longer alive, but it doesn't mean that he still doesn't deserve justice. Charles, hopefully I don't know if it'll be hard to prove Lori was involved, but hopefully not. And I think Chad was a part of that plan for Charles. I really do. She was already having an affair with him, and I mean, he's the one that filled her head with about Charles being possessed by some Nick Schneider. I don't even know, some Schneider guy that supposedly took over Charles's body, and it wasn't Charles inside of his body. So, and Chad's the one that was filling Lori's head with that kind of stuff. So that's why I feel like they all play a part in this murder. They all do. I mean, Chad, Alex, and Lori. But anyway, there I go off track again. So it says that Charles' son is talking about how he just doesn't have no history of this. He's never physically threatened anyone or anything like that. He's never raised his voice, never got verbally aggressive. Not even verbally aggressive, okay? He said he was very good at baseball. He played in college. So if he was going to defend himself, he wouldn't just tap an aluminum bat on someone's head on self-defense. The entire story just doesn't make any sense. He also indicated that he was fearful of Alex Cox. I guess Charles' son is saying that he is fearful of Alex Cox. And he implied he believes that Alex's death may have been the result of foul play, which I believe that too. Then he says, I was much more worried when Alex was alive about my safety. But then we didn't know if we should feel more or less safe. Charles' son said, man, poor kids, like they're, first of all, after it happened, when Alex was still alive, they're freaking out because they think, are we next? And then when Alex dies this mysterious death, he's saying, man, I don't know if we should feel more or less safe now that he's dead, because they were afraid of Alex. But just crazy, the person that's willing to get rid of Alex then. I mean, so he says, I don't know what happened to him, but I have a lot of ideas, and if they're possibly willing to take out their own, I have to assume the worst. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Like, if they're willing to take out one of their own, then gosh, you better believe they're willing to take out somebody that isn't, that they feel like is an issue or a problem. So I'm sure Charles' sons were afraid to even, basically, like for the watches, for example, when she gave him fake watches, they're probably scared to even go to the cops about it and be like, look, I think she took my dad's stuff that was supposed to be ours, or afraid to probably accuse her or confront her about it, because they're afraid, like, if they're willing to take out one of their own people, if I give her a hard time, she wouldn't have no problem taking me out, you know. So that's that. So I came across this little video clip of the owner of the Chapel of Love where Alex and Zulema got married. It said a few things about this, basically about the experience. Well, he wasn't there, but his minister, had told the owner some stuff about when Alex and Zulema came in to get married. So I guess when they came in, it was in Vegas, it's called Chapel of Love. They came in alone, it was just them. The wedding service only lasted 8 minutes. The witness was the chapel's security guard, because they were alone and they had to have a witness, so they had the security guard, which makes me wonder if Melanie and Ian were in Vegas and they got married the day after. Why couldn't they be the witness? Oh, maybe they didn't get there till the day after. Do you think they would get there the day? I mean, if Alex and them were a witness for their marriage, why wouldn't they go the day before and be a witness for theirs? I don't know, it just seems kind of weird. But anyway, so they came alone, and the minister says what stuck out the most was the lack of emotional response. He said they were very cold, like business-like, and just wanted to get in and out, like it was like a business engagement.
Just 2 weeks before his death, he and Zulema Pastenes came here, a Chapel of Love in Las Vegas. The owner, Sebastian Salas, remembers arranging the ceremony, but he says his minister remembers the mood of the wedding.
For my minister to be able to remember that, and it's been 2.5 months, and for him to be able to clearly tell me what stuck out to me the most was the lack of emotional response.
Salas says the wedding lasted no more than 8 minutes. The only witness, the chapel's security guard, because the couple came alone.
They were very cold. It was business. They just wanted to get in, get out.
The marriage certificate also shows something untraditional. Alex took his new wife's last name.
Yeah, that's never happened. I've never heard that, and this is a first.
A private ceremony that took place 2 days after Rexburg police searched the home of Alex's sister. But Lori Vallow and her new husband, Chad Daybell, had already skipped town after authorities wanted to know the whereabouts of her kids, JJ and Tylee.
That makes me think right there that, there was some other purpose for them to get married, and it wasn't because they were in love or that they wanted to spend the rest of their lives together. It had nothing to do with love or anything. It had to do with something else. And that's another thing I've been trying to kind of figure out, because how would it benefit Alex from taking Zulema's last name? The one thing I keep going back to is maybe for him to be able to hide, basically. So let's say the cops found some evidence and all these murders or whatever, and it leads back to him and they're looking for him. Alex with that different last name, maybe he could hide better. You know what I'm saying? Because they're going to be looking for Alex Cox. Who's going to think that he's going to take his wife's last name? So maybe this is a stupid thought even, because maybe they would still be able to find him, I'm sure, but I'm just saying it might make it harder because the last name. They're going to be looking for Cox, and it's actually going to be Pestines, and so it might just make it a little bit more difficult to find him, I guess, if they needed to. If they were starting to get suspicious or find some kind of evidence about these deaths that led back to Alex, then he could hide better. Not many men take the woman's last name. Like the owner of the chapel said he has never seen that before, where a husband takes the last name of the bride. He said that was the first time he's ever seen it. I'm sure it's not the first time that it's ever happened, period, but it's just very rare. So on the video I talked about that before, I was asking you guys, well, can you guys kind of brainstorm what other reason would there be for him to take her last name? Like I said, the only thing I could think of is just to kind of be able to hide if these deaths kind of trace back to him, where he'd be able to hide a little bit easier. Not that they could never find him, but it would just be easier if he had a different name. That's the only thing I could think of. Would there be any other reason? I can't think of anything else. But anyway, and then why did he marry her? Was it just to be able to change his last name? That whole thing is just for the name? If it was just like a business thing and they really weren't in love, why did they get married? Why? Unless if it was like Lori convinced him that her beliefs, like, Chad is some god, and so is Lori, I guess. But maybe she convinced him that some reason for their whole way of thinking, their whole religion, their whole beliefs, whatever. It's almost like Chad had kind of made up his own belief system and his own rules or whatever. So maybe it's the only other thing I could think of is that they kind of said for this whole, it's God's plan and he was supposed to marry Zulema for, that's what God wanted, and because she's the god of this, or, some crazy story to tell him where that's what God wants. He needs to marry her, and he needs to take her last name. Maybe they just convinced him for some reason that was the plan, and that's what God wanted, and for some reason. And well, then it makes you wonder, if that's the case, then do they actually believe that? Like, are they really thinking that, God wants them to get married, or is there a reason that, like Chad and Lori, if they're the ones telling them that, then why are they wanting them to get married? Do they really, if it is the beliefs, is it beliefs that they really believe that, they have to get married because God, this is what God wants, or what? I don't even know what their beliefs are. It's just, to me, I can't bring myself to read his books, and who knows now, though. I mean, there's probably a whole, what he's probably preaching to Lori and preaching to whoever, it's probably not stuff in his books right now, right? I'm sure it's this all new stuff. See how I get off on these tangents? So in my mind, it's like, I'm thinking, okay, so if Lori and Chad are the ones that told them that they had to get married because of some plan, then are Lori and Chad actually believing that this is some plan, believing it, like whatever reason, or are they making it up for some reason? And if they're making it up for some reason, what do they gain by them getting married? Or is it just this power thing to know that, let's just make up stuff, we'll tell them that, just do it because they can, and they get off on seeing them just listen, and then who freaking knows? This is just weird. There's just too much weird stuff going on. I don't think we'll ever be able to just figure it out unless if they tell us, but then who knows if we're going to believe him. Obviously, Chad's writing a book. I mean, we know he's writing a book. His friend, Paris guy, even said that he's working on a book, which I think is pretty crappy to be writing a book on what's going on right now. At least writing it right now. I don't know. If he ends up getting arrested, I guess he could still write a book in jail. A lot of people write books in jail, right? But that's the thing. I mean, I wouldn't even believe what he was saying. Just like Chris Watts, he's just like, how do we even believe what he's saying? I don't know if I would really want to read it. I guess I want to see how the trial goes, see what, just need some more details. It's just like there's so many unanswered questions. so many weird things that just don't make sense. And that's what I keep wondering, that is it all like this plan where once it's figured out, everything has a reason and it all makes sense why, like once we see it all out there and the purpose for all this, it all kind of makes sense. Not that it's right or good, I'm not saying that, but we'll understand, well, why did Alex marry Zulema? Why did he take her last name? Why did this happen? Why did Alex die? All this stuff, if we'll basically have all the answers eventually, or probably not. It's probably going to be one of those things that we never know, like freaking Chris Watts and NK. Was NK there? Was oh, so many unanswered questions. They're still trying to figure out stuff about that. I mean, not the investigators, I'm talking about like people that are into the case, the Chris Watts. And that case is already closed and he's already in jail, and people are still asking questions and still more just as clueless as they were to begin with. I mean, yeah, the story's changed a little bit from what originally they thought. Now people are thinking this. Well, I guess there's people thinking all kinds of things with the Chris Watts, but it just keeps changing and just keeps taking like a life of its own as each new theory, and then in a few more months it's going to be another new theory, and a few more months it's going to be another new theory, and Siri again. I'm saying theory and my Siri's coming up. Oh my gosh. Alrighty. Okay, I'm rambling on way too much here. I just hope that's what I'm afraid of, this case is going to be like that. Like, we're never going to know after the trial. We're still going to have so many, it'll bring up more questions after the trial. And then it's going to be like years of people just coming up with all these different theories and nobody ever knowing. I just hope we have some answers. I really do. And I'm afraid we're not for some reason. Alright guys, there you go, I rambled on again. But yeah, thanks for watching everybody, and hope you guys are all doing good, and email me if you got any information. Email is in my description under the video, and yeah, everybody have a good night.